I never thought about being on a spectrum within sexuality. I've always been attracted to women. But I think we all have femininities and masculinities, and it's like when I'm teaching like these freshmen in high school, you know, a lot of people, they feel uncomfortable talking about things, but I write on the board social constructs. That's how we're going to look at this, right? So we're going to be as open as we can, and we don't even have to say our opinion, but let's look at it within a societal norm. So today I actually posed questions for them, because I'm interested, because they're so much younger than me, and there is this new movement that's happening. So I asked them, you know, how would you feel if one of your good friends came out to you and they said that they were gay, or bi, or lesbian, or trans? And actually, I'm lying. I didn't say trans because I'm nervous about that. You know, I'll say LGBTQ. You know, and it's really because of my own self. I'm nervous that maybe someone will know, because like what you were saying before, most artists, right? They come off gay by society because that's what. If you're not this, you know, masculine presenting person and you're not doing manly things, then it makes you feminine. When I first came from Staten Island to Brooklyn, and I'm immersed into this queer culture, right? I went to Reese Beach, which, you know, Far Rockaway, and now Reese is really a queer beach where it's really, you know, LGBTQ. So when I went there with my trans friends, you know, most of them were masculine presenting, right, or are at that time, the people I was with. And they're like, well, we date guys. And that was like, my world was like,
kaboom.
And then I'm finding all these, you know, progressive movements, and I'm reading, and I'm opening myself up since I'm 18. But it's so different to be immersed in a culture, because people could be all over the world, you know, reading books, but it's not until you meet someone that is like you, or you're within a community, and then you see where you fit in. And when you don't feel like you fit in a community, it's never a good thing. No, that's what I like about being an artist, is that I could reveal that through my art, and my personal life is my private life.
Yeah.
It's no one's, you know, unless you personally know me, there's no reason for me to go into that place, because for me, I feel like the world isn't prepared for people of the trans experience, in the sense of, once they know that about you, they look at you differently. I hope to one day not care at all, but I think when you live for so long in a way that is so uncomfortable for you, where every day going outside is a task, a challenging task, just to go to the subway, right? Because people are going to see you. I rode my bicycle everywhere just so I wouldn't be seen. To go from that to feeling so good about yourself and looking in the mirror and liking the way that you look for the first time, you don't want anyone to take that away from you.
Yeah.
And those people won't. You know, I can't give those types of people validation, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's a fear. And I think that's something that a lot of people who are of the trans experience and get to have this privilege, because I'm privileged that I can do what I do, which is not come out at work. You know, like, I'll have conversations with, like, say, like a cousin who doesn't get it. Like, he supports who I am now, but he's like, I don't understand why you're weird around people who you used to be friends with. Like, they know you're the same person. What's your problem? And that opened me up, because it made me think, like, oh wow, he has a point, actually. My mom would say things to me like, I wish you could go back to being that brave little kid you are, because you didn't give a crap what anyone thought about you. You know, when I was a kid, I was just me. I never, you know, I was actually, my mom would say I was actually kind of crazy in a way. Like,
Yeah.
For example, like if we were at an amusement park and, you know, there's like, you know, that merry-go-round with all the cars, I had to wait for the blue car. I wouldn't go on unless there was a blue car. So I think from a young age, I latched onto things that were masculine because of, being seen as a little girl, even though I was a boy. You know, I would latch onto these things. And I have very early memories of just hating school because of the social aspect of it and being told no. Like, one of my earliest memories is being probably 3 years old in preschool, and it was Thanksgiving time, and they you know, we had to do an arts and crafts project, and I made the top hat, and they made me put that other thing on. I don't know what it's even called, and tied it on me, and I ripped it off, and I threw it on the floor, and then I cried in the corner with snot, you know, eating my snot until my mom picked me up. I gelled my hair back. I had like, well, but my mom didn't let me cut my hair. But she actually said when I was older, she's like, how come you never wanted to cut it? I go, I thought I wasn't allowed to. And I would just put the gel in my hair from, you know, when I was a little kid, and I would go to school that way until I started to get made fun of. And then I stopped with the gel. I remember like my older cousins coming to the house and telling my mom that everyone was making fun of me and calling me a boy, and that I shouldn't wear the gel like that. And I remember that was the moment when my world crashed. And I still remember that moment. I remember being upstairs in my parents' house and hearing them talking about it and feeling terrified that everyone knows, you know, and, you know, it was the 90s. It wasn't now. I was totally born this way, and I'm just one of those binary stories where there's really nothing to it except I don't understand, my brain didn't match. I don't really have a mystery.